Anybody? Yeah,
How tired do you get of hearing, I like the subtitles better than the dubbed version?
Oh, yeah. I don't get tired, because I know, people like the original Japanese, usually. And I understand it because, I mean, it's like, because it originates there. So I think it's probably closer to maybe the intent, And any dub where you look, anime's dubbed in French, it's dubbed in Spanish, it's dubbed in Portuguese, it's dubbed in Tagalog in the Philippines, it's dubbed in almost every language. So I'm sure everyone feels the same about whatever country they're in. They probably like the original Japanese better, which is fine. I just like to do it. So I have no problem with it. I appreciate when people do like the English that the dubs we do, and I know as a voice actor, and the people I know, we all want to do a good job, But we're also relying upon the translation that we're getting, and we're also relying on that we don't get to see the whole show. We only get to see the part we're doing, maybe a little bit before, and then that's we're just getting it right then and there. And then we have to please not just the director, we have to please the producers. So we can't just go and do what we want and how we think it's going to be. We're going to add whatever we can to it, but basically we're employees. Right? If you're an employee at Walmart, they want you to stock the shelf a certain way, but you think it's going to look better this way, but they have a diagram. Oh, you got to stock it this way, right? So that's the same thing we have to do as actors and voice actors, and I don't like it if it's micromanaged. Sometimes that happens where you feel like, oh my gosh, every little thing, and they constantly change, or then they're not happy with what they told you, and then they want to do it a different, and you're stuck on this one line forever, and it's exhausting, So, and there are times where they do give you the freedom, and sometimes that's like, oh, such a relief, or like, they'll be in the booth and like the line doesn't fit, it doesn't work, they're trying to find the right fit, it's too long, it's too short, it doesn't fit the voice flap, and then I'm there and I'm thinking, well, what about like this? But sometimes you don't want to, because that's their job, and then every now and then you'll say, well, how about like this? And they go, okay, yeah, try it, and it works. It flows better. And sometimes we know because we're doing it, we're having to say the voice. And there are things that will flow better than others. There are certain words they might choose. You're like, and then sometimes that's what they want. They want that exactly, even if you feel like it may not be the right or the perfect fit. So that's kind of, as people who dub, that's what we face. So that's my response for you people who don't like the English dubs. Anyone else? Any question? If you haven't asked? Time's running out. You're going to win some do-rah-rah postcards. No? Yes. I work in Los Angeles, different studios. There's two places primarily where they do dubs. One is in Texas, Funimation, which I'm sure you guys have heard of. And then LA is a little different because we have multiple places that hire us. So Funimation's, if you're in Texas, it's probably a little better in a way, only because it's like I don't want to say family, but you're at that one studio, if they know you, you're going to keep getting work. Los Angeles is a little different. One studio might use you a little more, another studio might use you less. One may not use you at all. But you're constantly having to go to the different places to get work. And then there's always new things that pop up, that you have to, again, even if you've done work forever, you still have to reintroduce yourself to them. Because they won't just, take you on your past work. You're constantly having to prove yourself or market yourself. Even like, here's all these voiceover actors, right? Now, most of us never do any Pixar or Disney or main, like American type animation, because it's such a different community, and it's hard to break in for some reason. I think it's like probably even like television actors sometimes, they want to do movies and they're stuck in television. They want to, how do I get to do a movie, so there's a lot of that. But again, it's never really about you. It's about the tastes of whoever's hiring you. You know, and that's why it's like I tell actors, never take it personally. You know, just let it go, move on, go to your next audition. You know, and Woody Allen, I bless him, said one thing I always took to heart. There was one thing I heard he had said was that just show up. You know, because there are times you think, oh, you know, look, I live in Los Angeles. 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you'll get a call. Oh, hey, they want to see you at 5. Across town. And maybe you've been at the gym and you're in your sweats. And they want you in a suit. At 5 o'clock. Rush hour. You know, so that's like a long trip to go to. And then you're just exhausted. You're like, why didn't they get you? No preparation. You know? Oh, they'll have the sides over there. You can read it when you're there. You know? So, and there are times you feel like, oh, I just don't want to go. I'm just tired. But then I just take a deep breath and I say, just show up. Because you never know where that's going to lead you. Or even if you feel like, sometimes I get an audition and I'll think, oh, they'll never cast me as that. But I'll show up because then they get to know me. You know? I'm sorry. Go ahead. For Do Ra Ra Ra? Well, I mean, I hear a lot of rumors, and that's really where I'm at, is the rumor mill. Is that I mean, there's a big push for a second season, which I would hope they do, because I would love to work again. So, we'll see.
A lot of people like you.
So, I don't even know if have they done the manga?
No.
Yeah, so that would definitely have to be done first, so it would be a while. So, oh, what's your name? Chris? Chris, he's the second.
I'm number 2.
Yeah, Chris 2. You're Chris 2. Chris number 2.